Hey, good morning. It's Mike Zschunke at Berkshire Hathaway Homes and Shipton Properties in Scottsdale, Arizona. Friday morning market chat live. We're going to talk about residential. We're going to talk about commercial. We're going to talk about the economy. Then I'm going to just give you tips on fraud, especially in real estate, if you stick around to the end, if we have time there. First of all, inventory. Maricopa County in the multiple listing service, we were up slightly across the valley, the greater Phoenix area. Scottsdale, we were down a little bit, and that's just, as I've said, the central locations, the Scottsdale, the Paradise Valley, Cave Creek, it doesn't really work like other markets, but the surrounding areas, Scottsdale's just, it's busy, it's booming. So anyway, quite a week. We wrote a couple offers, didn't get a couple offers, got a couple new listings we're working on. But what I wanted to point out, I had quite a few conversations. It's not my job to list your property, whether commercial or residential, and just put a sign in the front and let it go. It's not that kind of market now. You really have to price it accurately. I surprised a few sellers, potential sellers, on their property price. But we just look at the facts. We look at the comps in the area. Don't look at dollar per square foot is a good starting point when you're pricing your property, but it really doesn't take into account the location, doesn't take into account the finishes inside, it doesn't take into account the neighbor next door. But it's a good place to start. But I think I'm a little bit honest to a fault, maybe. A little open and honest to a fault, maybe. And, it's not my job to just list your property. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, this is what we're going to sell your property for. A lot of agents will just take a listing to get it out there. I don't do that. It's not worth my time. If it doesn't sell in 90 days, then you think I suck at my job, and then that's not good for anybody. So let's price it right from the beginning and just follow the process. Whether you're buying or selling, it's simple. It's very simple. If you're selling a property first and looking at buying one, just follow the process. Give me a call. I'll walk you through it. It's not that difficult. In Berkshire Hathaway, we've got some of the best tools out there. That's why I stick with them as an independent contractor. They've got some of the best tools and experience. I'm really good, not shy or not ashamed to say I'm really good at pricing properties. So I help a lot of agents out with that even. But anyway, it was interesting. Set it on a Cromford Market Index. She's a local housing analyst. She's not so great with the economy, but she's great with the housing index. And she pointed out that properties over $1 million, we've seen an increase in prices since the beginning of the year. Actually, over $3 million, prices since the beginning of the year are up 8% since the same week last year. Under $1 million, prices are down a little bit, but across the board, prices are pretty steady. They're hanging out there, but Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, it's just a different animal. And I always say, the clients I work with at the higher end, I'm not afraid to take risk. I heard somebody say the other day, renting is safe. Buying a property, there's some risk. If you want reward, you have to take some risk. It's risk reward. It's any investing with any asset. But did you know, actually, Phoenix has only one other time Phoenix has had a buyer's market. And that was during the 2008 to probably around 2011 crash. But we're coming out now in the Cromford Index. They take 17 cities. They have up and down arrows and things. Out of those 17 cities, only 4 did not move up towards the seller's market. It's been active. I think new accepted contracts in the greater Phoenix area was up 4.8% over the same week last year. So it's been busy. Seen a lot of properties fall out of contract. Are people making offers on them before they're looking at them? Is it financing? You really have to dig in and know. But and to know that, we also, Berkshire Hathaway set up some appointment up there. We went up and saw Camelot Homes properties up in North Scottsdale. It feels like, I'll mention in a bit, but the middle of Scottsdale is moving north for sure. Along that 101 there is kind of becoming the new central Scottsdale. North Scottsdale is now becoming North Scottsdale. So I saw this Camelot home community. It's pretty far north, but not bad. 15 minutes to get there. And it really impressed me, the quality of these builds and just the design of these new properties. If you want to get up there, let me know. If you're going to look at a new build, take your agent on the first visit. I've been locked out. If you're not there on the first visit with your agent, they cannot represent you. It's just the way it works. Anyway, if you want representation, I would like to have representation from an expert on if I'm buying anything. But that was interesting. Anyway, a lot of things going on in the industry. There's basically 5 or 6 big companies, and there's a lot of intertwining back and forth between, I'm not going to say names, but Berkshire, we want to be that. I like the way they're going. They want to be the big network, and the Berkshire name opens a lot of doors. They want to be that big network with kind of that boutique feel and that personalized service, and that's fits perfectly with my business model. But anyway, it's been interesting. We've got the residential markets moving in the Scottsdale and PV area. So anyway, just follow the process. Commercial. Phoenix was ranked. How did they say it? Phoenix was just ranked the most supportive city for small business owners. And that's what we work. If you're a small business owner, we highly encourage you to own the building that your business is in. And that's what we work, teaching doctors, small businesses, how to get in and do that with small business loans. If it's a good deal and it fits for your business plan, there's money available for you. Phoenix just has low taxes, low combined 2.5% tax rate for the city of Phoenix. Strong population growth, low unemployment. It's just a good center for jobs and employees. So it was nice to see that Phoenix is really growing, and Phoenix is a young city. We're still growing. I would say 4th now biggest in the country. It's growing. Actually, there's 2 towers, 2 of the tallest towers in Arizona. Finally got their new financing figured out. They had budgeted 541 feet. It's 2 towers actually, and 460 or something feet. They had budgeted back in 2019 $350 million to build the 2 tallest towers in Arizona. They had to go through and redo their financing because their estimated budget now is $675 million. And again, I go back to that on the commercial end. Follow the big money. I'd love to do a $675 million deal, but those are teams of people. Happy to point you in the right direction, but those are teams of lawyers and contractors and things like that. But I thought that was interesting, the amount of money that is being put into downtown Phoenix area. We've actually got a great property. Can we talk about that? Owner-user property on Roosevelt Row coming up. Yeah, we can talk about it. We're just finalizing some prices, but if it's a hair salon downstairs now with an apartment upstairs. It's a great building on Roosevelt Row. It's a great building, probably around $1 million. Don't quote me on that because we're still zeroing that in. But it was interesting. A Taiwan firm. I think if you live in Phoenix, you've driven along 101 and 7th Avenue, you recently saw that big call center get knocked down and now they're rebuilding it. Taiwan firm paid a lot of money. Would they pay $19 million for that property? What's interesting, the developer, it was on the market forever. Developer paid $14 million for it just 6 months ago, knocked the building down, sold it for $19 million. Does it cost $5 million to knock down a building? That seems a little high to me, but interesting. Very interesting that they see the opportunity there on that corner of 101, northwest corner of 101 there. Cardinals broke ground, Scottsdale Road and 101. They call it a Scottsdale or a Cardinals training facility, but it's really a 217-acre mixed-use facility. And that, going back to, I say that's going to be the center of Scottsdale, that 101 there. That's where all the businesses, Banner Health, Honor Health, everybody wants to be there. So when you now you used to talk about North Scottsdale was along Shea Boulevard. That North Scottsdale is now going up Dynamite and North. And it's just happening. They're doing a lot of road work to get the traffic up there, and they do a lot of studies there. So that was interesting. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's talk about the economy. We had consumer confidence this morning. Little weak numbers, which is interesting. People read the doom and gloom. I don't know why doom and gloom sells, but consumer confidence was a little weak this morning. We've got record stock market. Stock market is not the economy, remember. The Federal Reserve has a meeting next week, and I just saw they dropped a lawsuit on Jerome Powell. I think that was kind of silly anyway, but they want to get him out. They want to get Kevin Warsh. I think they're putting too much weight on one person as the chairman, as the chairman of the Federal Reserve. It's a 12-member voting committee. He's just the figurehead. I think they're putting too much weight on just one person. But, the markets are moving a lot. Now we have a ceasefire in the Middle East. It's just been interesting. Every time there's a headline news, oil prices go up. Bonds and stocks, they do these quick little things. Those are the swing traders making money on it. Don't listen to it. Investing is a long term. The economy is good. We had U.S. manufacturing, PMI. It's the Purchasing Managers Index. Prices are going to go up. We haven't really seen the effect of the Middle East on our prices, on our daily goods and services prices yet. That's about a 6-month to a 12-month delay. So, they like to make headlines. They like to make the news. Don't listen to it. We haven't seen those price increases yet. Remember, the Fed has 2 jobs, stable employment and stable prices. We kind of have that right now. There is more risk to the inflation side. So it's funny. You don't really hear many people talking about interest rates going down anymore. This is where we are. 6%'s not bad. It is what it is. You start tightening that up, and you start tightening the spread between what the lender is borrowing money at and what they're lending it to you. And then that tightens up the liquidity, and you can't get those loans unless you have perfect credit. I did see that now they are redoing the FICO scores. That's going to open up a lot of people with lower credit, open to different mortgages, different money like that. I think that's a good idea. I think, you're now being rewarded for paying your rent on time and paying your utility bills. And I think that goes into effect immediately. Those are government insured loans. We'll put you in touch with the lender. They can go into it. But, like Rick Santelli said on CNBC yesterday, it's not what the roller coaster does in the middle. It's where you get on the roller coaster, and it's where you get off the roller coaster. So I thought that was a good analogy with the economy, with housing, with commercial property, and just investing in general. It's where you get on and where you get off. If you don't sell your property, you don't lose any money. So everybody thinks, you need a roof over your head. That's true. It's not really investment. It's an investment in yourself. But anyway, I just want to touch base real quick on fraud. Real estate is where it's in the headlines now. There's a lot of news on it. There's some new procedures coming out of the state, actually, about fraud. Just because there's a lot of fraud, real estate is public information. And with this technology, the AI, California just passed something, and I think Wisconsin too, about promoting. We go into a lot of properties that look beautiful online, like Zillow and Realtor.com. They're AI generated. We walk in and it's like, where are the cabinets? But so they're passing rules on those. And I just want to go back to the fraud. Be careful. What you see online is not there. That's why we do these live. So you get to know me. Maybe I get to know you. I don't know. But you get to know me. It's live. It's true. But just be careful. There's a lot of fraud out there, especially in vacant properties and land. How can you do that? Put your property in a family trust. That's a no-brainer. If you own real estate, put it in a family trust. It avoids probate, maintains privacy a little bit, and it just protects your asset a little bit. I've seen a lot of deals, and now this is a whole nother story. I don't know if I want to go down that road, but be careful. There's always the long-lost family member that jumps in during probate and says, hey, I'm part of your family. Be very careful. It's very easy to find information about anybody, and family members, that gets emotional. So someone comes out of the blue and says they're a family member, take it with a grain of salt. Be very, very careful. We were looking at a property up just north of here in Silverleaf last weekend, and talking about, this neighbor lives here, this neighbor here, and it was attractive. It was interesting. So I was joking at the next property. Took me about 30 seconds to find out the celebrity that lived across the street from the house we were looking at. So it's out there. Your information is out there. So also set a Google alert on all your addresses. Set a Google alert on your name. So anytime your name is put out there on the internet, you'll get a Google alert. It's fantastic. And put your address in. Anytime that address comes up like for sale, we see it. We see properties, especially in Zillow. Properties are listed for sale. They're not really for sale. You call the owner and they have no idea what you're talking about. So please be very careful. Also, Maricopa County has a great system now. You can register your property to be alerted anytime the title or the deed of your property is accessed. So that's interesting. To go on maricopacounty.gov or something like that. It's a great system, but just please, 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 very careful. You know, this fraudsters, the scamsters, they really know how to play on your emotions, and especially when it gets down to family like that, just please be very careful. You haven't known somebody for 50 years and all of a sudden they show up. Be careful. They probably are not real. So anyway, we were supposed to be in Cleveland today for a wedding, but my wife is, some of you know, thank you for reaching out. So those of you who know, she has been dealing with an MS episode. It happens once in a while. It just teaches us to appreciate every day. You never know what somebody's going through. You, like in real estate, you never know how much money somebody has just because they have a lease McLaren. But thank you for those of you who paid attention and reached out. She's on the upturn, but we're not making it to Cleveland, so I'm around this weekend. I had cleared my calendar. So give me a shout if you want to meet for coffee, if you want to go see a property, if you have a question, if I can help you buy or sell real estate, or just help you work through a deal. Give me a shout. I'm here to facilitate, educate, and advise. Residential, commercial, land, and investment properties. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Give me a shout. 203-733-5877. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.